Hi there, I'm Robert Dudzik and welcome you to Limitations Breeds Creativity. Today, I want to share with you one of my techniques, how I'm creating big cinematic impacts and big drum sounds, the big deep boom sounds. And I want to share with you the technique, how I'm recording this, and that could be very tricky because you really don't need a big studio or big cinematic drums to creating this sound. Actually, what you need is use your imagination, be a little bit creative, and as a surprise, all I was using is 14 inches snare drum head, just a plain head, and I attached a couple of strings and bass guitar strings and little metal bar, and I can't wait to share with you this result. So hope you enjoy, give you some inspiration, and after this we're gonna come back to my session to Cubase when I will show you how I'm producing the sounds, and we're gonna go from there. So enjoy the recording session and I will see you shortly. By repositioning the drum head by the microphones, I'm getting different tone. So it's very important moving around and find the sweet spot. And the moment you find the right tone, just keep your drum in this position or whatever the object and just try to record many sounds you can. Sometimes just a little bit, tiny bit of movement dramatically will change the tone. So it's a good idea always have your headphones on and just hear actually what's going on inside. And now you hear it's all clear with a lot of low ends coming. What you see, I'm focusing more getting the sound from the back of the drum head instead front, because I know the high tones will be go through anyway, but I really want to capture the low end coming. The spring, the little bar what you hear, is actually from the leaf rake, steel spring, and it's steel spring have very unique tone. It's not typical steel, so it's great for this kind of sounds. That was cool sound. Definitely cinematic hit. And this is kind of creating big cinematic drum rolls, or good for the whooshes. Now, just like I say, all you need, just think outside the box, be creative, and use your imagination. As you see, I just use plain snare drum head with attached couple things to this thing, and I was able to creating this big, massive cinematic sound. I hope you feel inspired to this thing, and now it's time to move to Cubase when I will show you how I process the sounds and make them even bigger and bring them the way how I'm delivering them to the trailer houses. But before to jump to this thing, I want you to know I will not showing the way how I'm mixing, how I'm editing, how I'm trimming, how I'm processing the samples before I'm doing all my next stage, because I already showed this thing, everything in my previous video, so there's no point of repeating myself. Might as well just go to my first video, watch the Cubase session in the beginning, and you will know what I'm doing. So let's jump to the video and let's see what's happened next. Now when I'm done with the completely recording process, I was doing first editing, mixing down, editing, trimming all the files, whatever have to be done to make them import. So now you see, just quick check all the files here and they're working. So the next thing will be open my contact instrument and basically just drag them in, import, and have them placed into each key, and let's listen how they're sounding. So I'm using Contact right now as an addition, everything, but it's very powerful tool, and this is one of my main instruments when I'm doing a lot of my sound design. So now if I want to make the sounds bigger, what I'm gonna do, I basically duplicate the same instrument and what I do right now, I'm pitching down a little bit. I'm making this a little bit wider. And now switch to Omni so everything is communicate together. And the reason why I did this thing, because when you pitch down, the sound is going a little bit slower, but it's going a little bit deeper. But what I did, I cut off the high frequency, so just the lower frequency is going down, and I widened the sound. So right now, my original sounds go straight at the center. By the wider signal with no high, it's going split into channels, and basically, I have a little more low end under the sound. So the sound is starting getting bigger if you listen right now. And now I will be at one more duplicate track. And that's the track basically what will carry for me all this heavy weight of the bass. I'm cutting even more high frequencies. And now from the low track, I'm pitching more down, and from the last track, you're gonna see all like the low frequencies going under, almost like a sub frequencies. So now when I'm hitting, you're starting to really hear the big low end, and you also hear the low frequencies undergoing as a tail. It just gives you like the nice kind of like a low end going, curling under. And all this thing, I don't have to use any sub filters, nothing. Now you hear like, it's almost like a thunder, because the lower, slower fire playing and lower frequency is going, get back at the end. So it's possible when you record like 96K and 32 beats, it's basically have more information to the sound, and you are able to do this thing. So I highly recommend you record everything 96 kilo. 32 beat if you can, or even higher. So now it's coming time for recording this thing. So basically, how you record your sequence. For the example, I'm just going to show you step by step, just hitting and recording all the single files. And you hear the all sounds nice and clean and big. And it's hard to believe all the sounds come from the little drum head. So you see, it's just an example, but right here I have prepared track when you see I basically record all the samples, and the next thing I'm gonna do, you hear this, they're all here. I'm just gonna export all of them as a one mix down track of all these sounds. So now it's important when you're doing this thing, I'm gonna creating automatic from the audio tracks and make sure your settings will be 96 kilohertz and 32 bit, because you wanna preserve the same sample rates. So the next thing I'm gonna do, go to the audio, go to advanced, and detect silence. That's a great feature in the Cubase, but you have to be careful with this thing too. You don't want to overdo it, too sensitive. So basically you see, it's cut for me all the dead space. Let's eliminate the hit points right now. So right now you see this thing. If I see spot like this, it's a dead space, just delete it. And just delete this thing. And all my sounds, they automatically edit. I have perfect edit on everything. So when you click, they're already chopped for me and the individual files, and they're ready to be processed. And a lot of this sometimes with this, I'm not going to process the whole file entire, but I just want to show you example of this thing. A lot of times when I'm using the silence, I would like to just do fade at the end, because sometimes the file is cut drastically. I just want to make it smooth ending. So now what I'm doing in my final process for the sounds. First thing, of course, I'm gonna add soot to eliminate harshness. And you see, there's not a lot, but once in a while there's some spikes, and I want to eliminate these things. The next things I'm gonna add uber loud from boom, and basically make it sound more punch, more bigger, give the sounds more guts. And it's a great tool, easy to use. And one more thing, I forget to normalize everything. I always normalize all my sounds before all my process to minus 6 dB. So I'm having a lot of room to work in. Now you see sound, it's nicer with uber loud. You feel like the sound's getting more punch. It's have more definition. The next thing I'm opening right now is the neutral EQ, but I'm not gonna use right now. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm using this more for the filter. After this, I'm opening Ozone 9 and the low end focus. And here basically I just wanted to tie the low end because there's a lot of low end coming, and it's all come from recording. So as you see, you don't have to add like unofficial synthetic low end bass. The bass is there. You just have to know how to capture this, and hope you learn this. And after this, I'm adding my Ozone dynamics and basically just even on top control the low frequency, because there is so much low end, and trust me that it's nothing better than original natural low end what you can capture. And the last thing what I will add, there'll be limiter, and that's my settings. And now let me show you why I'm using the EQ. I'm using it as a filter. If you click right here, you can use this as the low pass filter, and basically when I'm moving this thing more to the left, I'm starting cutting all this low frequency. And the more I'm moving, the sounds become more softer. A lot of times you hear like an earth becomes tones. But if I even gonna move one even more to the left, the filter, you're gonna see in just a moment. Now I'm able to creating some kind of like a Godzilla hit. See, just a like little low and boom going. And you can hear a lot of times in the trailers and the movie, just a low boom and just creating this atmosphere. But same settings right now. You remember when I was using the massager and the drum? Look at this, now what's happened. When you play, it sounds like this. It's like a kind of like a thunder or something. But it's really cool sound for the transitions. Now when I move the low cut filter, look at this even more. Check now. Now some kind of like a falling rocks. It's good to add to the falling rocks and the Foley's. So there'll be my process I'm doing, and the next thing, just highlight all these files, and again, right click on the mouse and render all individual files, and the files are ready for me to be used or to overstack them and creating different sound design, what I'm planning to show you in the next videos. And now you have it. You see my step-by-step process from recording to processing to mixing to the final stage, how I did this thing. Hope this video gives you some inspirations and you learn something new, maybe inspire you right now to just go and record your own hits. You know, remember, you don't have to use 14 inches snare drum head. You can use 16 inches, 15, 18, 22, whatever, the 24 timpani drums, whatever your imagination is, or you can use something different. You can use like cardboard box, and it's all about your imagination, the way how you're gonna place your microphones. It's very important to find a sweet spot and just capture the sound, and you really don't have to hit hard to get this sound. So thank you so much for watching, and if there's anything I will ever ask you, if you feel like you learned today something from me and you feel inspired, I would like to ask you for a small favor and just click this little button over there under to subscribe, and that will be just help me growing my channel and making more videos for you. What actually I have to share with you, I'm already working on the next one, and the next one will gonna come in soon. But until then, have fun, enjoy, and go make some fun sounds, and I will see you soon in the next video.